Not every hero Captain America fights alongside happens to have the same standout philosophy or approach, although many do share his core beliefs. Still, we wonder just who stands out for Cap, and who has managed to earn Steve Rogers' respect. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we're going to find out which heroes have as we count down the top 10 superheroes Captain America respects. Let's get counting. Number 10. Wolverine. Well, it might not seem like these two see eye to eye. Actually, they often don't. They still hold respect for one another. Wolverine and Captain America actually go way back, with it later being established that they even crossed paths during World War II, with them both serving. Wolverine was going by his given name of James Howlett at that time. Captain America may not like Wolverine's killer instincts, and may have spoken up against the idea initially of him joining the Avengers team, but over the years, Cap has become more accepting of moral ideologies and tactical approaches that differ with his own way of doing things. Wolverine definitely holds Cap in high regard. Even with the two being so different, and over time, it seems that Cap has also come to respect Wolverine. Number 9. Iron Man. It might seem strange to include Tony Stark on this list, considering that the two of these heroes created one of the most divisive events in Marvel's comic book history thus far, Civil War. And yet, despite the fact that these two were on opposite sides, and despite the fact that that conflict tore the superhero community apart, Stark and Rogers still ended up finding a way to move past these events, heal their relationship, and even remain friends. Even when they don't agree, and it's often that these heroes don't agree, they still immensely respect one another, even if they end up on opposite sides of a war. Their respect is so deep that it also led to them getting married in another universe, the alternate Earth of 3490, where Iron Man instead was born female and was known as Iron Woman, aka Natasha Stark. I mean, you gotta have respect if you're marrying someone, right? And friends, before we move on to the next spot, just a quick reminder, if you have not already, please go check out our new channel, Top 10 Nerd Elite, please, please, please. And once you are over there, hit that subscribe. We're gonna have lots of amazing content coming your way, and we don't want you to miss it. Number 8. Namor. Even Hydra Supreme Steven Rogers, aka alternate evil Cap, showed some respect for his old friend, Namor. In truth, the real Captain America and Namor go way back, with the two of them serving on the All-Winner Squad and Invaders way back in the day. They teamed up together during World War II and fought side by side, but would each be separated and forgotten by time, as was their fate. Namor would basically lose his memory, and Cap would become frozen in a block of ice. Later, they both served together on the Avengers, and while they might not always see eye to eye and can be quite different personalities, at the end of the day, these old friends will hold one another in high regard, even when forced to fight against each other, as they were when the Phoenix Force returned to Earth in Avengers vs. X-Men, with Captain America specifically taking on Namor, who was one of the Phoenix Five. Number 7. Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley was one of the first super soldiers to have come into being after Steven Rogers was transformed into one himself and made Captain America. For years, the white community of superheroes was actually completely unaware of Isaiah Bradley, his role as a hero, or his accomplishments from World War II. However, when Captain America did discover Isaiah's old uniform, he decided to dig a little deeper into the legend of the Black Captain America, and ended up paying Isaiah and his wife Faith a visit. He returned Isaiah's old uniform, was regaled with his old war stories by Faith, and ended up asking to take a picture with Isaiah Bradley as well, for his wall. Once he learned of Isaiah Bradley and his role, Captain America too became one of the heroes to respect and admire him. Number 6. Howling Commandos. The Howling Commandos might not all have superpowers, but each member does have their own skills, and they do have Nick Fury, which I think means we can include them in terms of superhero status. The original Nick Fury in the comics, being older due to his own exposure to a variation of the super soldier serum, actually served in World War II, and was part of a team who would fight side by side with Captain America when he first came into the field. Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos fought alongside Captain America in multiple missions because of how well they all operated together, with them definitely earning Cap's trust and respect. Even when Cap returned from the ice years later, the surviving members of the Howling Commandos were still considered close friends of his. Steve sought them out and was still eager to work closely with the surviving members of the squad. Number 5. Captain Marvel. When Captain Marvel initially took up the mantle of her former friend, colleague, and former love interest Mar-Vell, Captain America was one of the people standing by her side, urging her that it actually was the right choice. He told her that Mar-Vell would have wanted her to take it, and that Carol had more than earned the title as a former leader of the Avengers, as well from years of superhero service, often spent saving the world multiple times over. Captain America and Carol Danvers both have a military background. They don't just get along and often agree on tactics and plans, but the two of them also have a fiercely strong mutual respect for one another. Number 4. Human Torch. We're not talking about the Human Torch Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four. No. Here we are talking about the android version of the hero who fought in World War II and shares similar abilities but is a completely different being with a completely different name, Jim Hammond. Jim was an AI android created by Professor Phineas T. Horton. Human Torch would end up becoming a superhero and ally to Captain America, Bucky Barnes, and even Namor, serving on both the All-Winter Squad and the Invaders as well. I would argue that because Cap and Hammond have never really had much reason to fight, that he is even more respected by the hero than Namor. Bucky Barnes, when he was Captain America, even risked his own life along with Namor just to rescue Human Torch's remains, and to prevent them from being used in a plot to destroy half of the human life on planet Earth, which is both nice but also probably very important because, you know, heroic stuff, but also, you know, you gotta save your friend's remains. I think that's also important. Number 3. Peggy Carter. Peggy Carter usually doesn't have superpowers in most realities, but in the alternate reality we glimpsed into in episode 1 of the Disney Plus What If series, she certainly did. Here Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America, but in pretty much every reality where he either has held that title or hasn't, he's had respect for Peggy, and this reality was no different. Here Agent Peggy Carter was the one who ended up getting the serum and became the super soldier hero known as Captain Carter. Steve goes on to become an earlier version of Iron Man, codenamed the Hydra Stomper. One night over some whiskey, the two confess that the other is their hero, confirming that even here, especially here, Peggy earns Steve's respect and vice versa. Also, it's such a cute moment. It's so cute. Number 2. Falcon. One of the heroes Captain America admires the most has to be his good friend Sam Wilson, aka Falcon. Falcon is one of the heroes who ends up also holding the mantle of Captain America, and for good reason. Aside from Cap, he is also a person who aims to stand up for American ideals, liberty, equality, and justice. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we saw Steve Rogers respect through his actions as well as his words, when he chose to pass on the mantle of Captain America and his shield to Falcon. Sam, however, wasn't initially so sure of how concrete the sentiment was, or if he was ready for the title, but by the end of his and Bucky's Disney Plus series, he found his way to accepting Rogers' offer and his respect. Number 1. Winter Soldier. While Steve was horrified to learn what had happened to Bucky after he went MIA many years before, and much later resurfaced as a super soldier and brainwashed operative and assassin Winter Soldier, over time he would once again come to respect and cherish his friendship with Bucky. Steve respected young Buchanan Barnes so much that he wasn't willing to give up on him when he first came back, and was revealed to have been molded into something more villainous during his years away from Cap. Instead, out of respect for his former partner, Steve worked hard to free him from his brainwashing and give him back his former memories, allowing him to once more think and act for himself, using his own sense of right and wrong as opposed to doing what he'd been programmed to. Who are some heroes that you think need to be mentioned on a part 2 who weren't included on this list? Which superheroes do you love to see Captain America team up with? Who is your favorite Captain America? Is it Steve Rogers, or do you prefer someone else in the role? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos from our newest Top 10 Nerd Elite channel, Most Powerful Invincible Characters. Anthony Alvarez comments, finally came over to the dark side. Lol, awesome top 10 Amanda, looking amazing as always. Looking forward to your next entertaining video. Well, thank you for coming to the dark side. I like to think of Nerd Elite as maybe the brighter side, but I don't know. We definitely need like a dark side nerd channel. Just a channel where we can just talk about villains or something like that. Broken Bridge responds, a fun universe and series for sure. I completely agree, Invincible is so fun and so awesome, and I cannot wait for season 2, and I cannot wait for, I don't know, I guess everything to kind of come back. I guess that's probably not going to happen. But still, you know, I would be down to read more Invincible comics if that is a thing that happens. Skybound X? I think they were in Skybound X a little bit. Patagonico celebrates first comment. Yay! Yay, first comments are great. Congratulations. I wish I could give people like a little gold medal when they actually did the first comment. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to head on over to Top 10 Nerd Elite, smash that subscribe, and leave a comment to be featured in a future video over here on Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Amanda McKnight. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.